channel. Thank you again for tuning in. Last week we left you off. I was pre-fishing down in Iowa. So today it's tournament day. So today I'm going to go over how the tournament went, what I did, and just kind of recap for you guys. So based off my pre-fishing, I had a decent pattern set up. Springtime, basically I was just going to stay shallow, pound the bank. You know, going off my map study prior to the tournament, I had about 3 spots that I wanted to hit, which I did hit in pre-fishing, found fish at all 3. So I was feeling pretty good that that was gonna hold up through tournament day. So the first spot was kind of like a marina, which shallow water. It was gonna be protected from any wind. I actually thought it was gonna be a good top water spot early in the morning. That was my plan, to hit that spot first and then follow up with the wacky rig on the docks, move across the lake to like a rocky kind of shoreline, hit that with a chatterbait and a crankbait, and then move back across the lake once again and hit that spot, kind of the same setup, crankbait, wacky rig, chatterbait. By the time I went through that progression, the first spot should have been kind of refilled or, you know, kind of stabilized. So that was kind of my plan, was to just kind of hit those 3 spots throughout the day. I figured for sure I'd get at least 5 fish. I knew that they weren't going to be big, but I knew it was something that I could sustain all day. The one thing I didn't take into consideration was that it was Saturday. It was like the first 80-degree day down there. Boat traffic was at an all-time high. We had our kayak tournament. There's also 3 other bass boat tournaments and more pleasure boats out there and jet skis that you could count. So that I did not take into consideration when planning, and that kind of set the tone for the day. So moving into it, tournament morning, get out there, motor to my spot, basically like the second cast, I skip up under a dock, got a fish, go to set the hook, and just completely missed it. So I know some of these fish that were underneath these docks were actually bedding. So I think a lot of it was that, you know, he grabbed it, shoot it off, and I couldn't set the hook before he spit it back out. So that happened. I'm like, all right, not a big deal. Moved over to the marina, started pitching some docks. One of my casts got a little squirrely, ended up kind of snagging. So I rode over there, untangled it, checked my line, made sure that everything was good. Didn't feel any nicks or anything like that. Pitched back underneath the dock, another fish, go to set the hook, and line snapped. It's been a while since I've been fishing, but some of my old habits definitely did not die over that time span. So I was getting frustrated at that point, but so ended up retying, skipped back underneath there. Luckily he was still there guarding. Was able to lock in, got my first fish of the tournament, first fish of the 2021 season. Feeling pretty good, so went from an absolute low to pretty high up there. So I got that one in the boat, and then just kind of continued around my pattern. Found one more, and again skipped it under a dock, grabbed it for just a second, missed that hook set. So I wanted to let that cool off, so I went across the lake, but I was kind of watching, across the lake over the morning, and my spots all got just hammered throughout the entire mornings. I was being a little bit bullheaded. I went over there. I knew it probably nothing was going to happen, but I went over there anyway. Wasted some time. Again, nothing. Any fish that was there had already been caught, or just was not in the area anymore because of all the pressure. So after that, decided to bounce back across the lake to my third spot. You know, again, only got one fish, and so getting pretty close to crunch time. Need to find a few more. So I started hitting the bank again through another spot that I got fish in the day prior, and again hook into one. It was a decent one. Fought him for a little bit. Grabbed the net to scoop him up, and nothing comes off. I had that one fish back on the other side of the lake that I just couldn't catch. So I decided to put the motor down and drive all the way over there right to that dock that he was sitting under. I took 3 or 4 tries. I finally was able to hook into him, get him on the board. There's fish number 2. Yeah, after that, I mean, all my spots were pretty much hammered already, so I was out of options. So I knew, if I hit enough docks, I could find some. So instead of trying to find new water, I decided just to hammer every dock I could see and see if I couldn't scrape together a bag. So pretty much did that the rest of the day. So then just kept hammering dock, hooked into one more. I was feeling pretty good about that. So that put me at 3 fish with about 2 hours left to go in the tournament. At that point, I was out of options, so I basically just switched gears. There was some shallow grass. I just started to hit the edges of that for the rest of the tournament with the chatterbait. Nothing was really happening. I said, these areas have been fished so much, and with all the boat traffic, those fish were locked up and just were not having it the rest of the day. So ended the tournament off with 3 fish. I said I was happy just to get fish on the board. First tournament in quite a long time. So definitely a win in my book. Obviously I wanted to do a little bit better, but it was worth the trip nonetheless. So I'm really thankful for that. As always, I really do appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, go down and check out my Instagram page. Again, thank you for watching. Go fishing as much as you can. Remember to be safe out there, and we'll see you on the next one.